This lesson's on 6.3% proportion. There's some vocabulary and proportion that we want to bring back. For the vocabulary, if the question is asking what number for the math translation, go ahead and put an X. If the question is asking what percent, we're going to go ahead and put X percent, which then also can be converted into X over 100, as what we have talked about in the previous lesson. And if the word of is introduced in the question, that is translated as multiplication. If the word is introduced in the question, it is the same as equals. And so what we're going to do is we're going to convert our sentences into like a math equation, and then from there try to make it as a proportion problem, which we have done before in our previous lessons. In example 1, the question is, what number is 36% of 50? So as the table we had given you, what number is translated as X, is translated as equals. We have 36%, and then of is same thing as times, and 50. This is basically a math equation that you're writing, and what we are trying to do is convert this into proportion. Our goal is to get the percentage by itself. We will have to bring the 50 over to the other side of the equal sign. So it's currently times 50, so we're going to go ahead and divide by 50 on both sides. Divide by 50, and now our equation looks like X over 50 is equal to 36%. 36% can be converted into a fraction of 36 over 100, and we have is X over 50. This is a proportion problem now, so we can multiply across and multiply across and get 100x is equal to 36 times 50. And we could do 30 times 50 as an area model. So we can do 36 times 50 using an area model. So I'm going to use 30 and 6 and then 50. So 5 times 3 gives us 15, and we have 2 zeros. 5 times 6 gives me 30, and we have 1 0 from the 50. When we add those together, we will get 1,800. 100x on this side, and we want to isolate x, so we're going to divide by 100 on both sides. Divide by 100. 100 can go evenly into 1,800, so our final answer becomes 18. In example 2, the question is asking us 150% of what number is 24. So let's do some translation. We have 150% of is multiplication. What number is X, is equals, and we have 24. And again, we want to have the percent by itself, so in this case we're going to divide both sides by X. So divide by X, and we have 150% is equal to 24 over X. I'm going to convert my 150% into a fraction. 150 over 100 is equal to 24x. And now our problem becomes proportion, so we can do a cross product. And we have 150x is equal to 2400. We want to have x by itself, so we're going to divide by 150 on both sides. Divide by 150. X is equal to 2,400 over 150. And 10 goes into it evenly. So now we have is 240 over 15. And so from there we're going to go ahead and divide it out. 240 on the side over here, and 15. So 15 goes into 24 one time. So 15 minus, and that will give us 9. And we bring down the 0. So 15 goes into 90 6 times. So our answer becomes 16 as our final answer. Example 3 asks us 10% of what number is 4. So again, some translation here. We have as 10% of is times what number is x is equal and 4. So our next step, we want to isolate the 10%. So we're going to divide both sides by x. And we have as 10% is equal to 4 over x. And we want to convert our 10% into a fraction. So we have as 10 over 100 equals 4 over x. And now we can do a cross product because it is proportion. So we multiply across, and we have as 10x is equal to 400. We want to divide both sides by 10. And x is equal to 10 can go into 400 evenly by 10, so x is equal to 40. Example 4 asks us 25 is what percent of 20? So we have as 25 is equals what percent is the x percent because we don't know. Of is multiplication and 20. So again, we want to have percent by itself. So we have an x percent in this case. So we still want to bring the 20 over on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and bring the 20 by dividing it out since it is times the 20. And so we have now it's 25 over 20 is equal to x percent. We still want to change that into a fraction. So now we have is x over 100. And we have is 25 over 20. And now it is proportion, so we can do a cross product. So we can multiply across and multiply across. So it's 2500 is equal to 20x. And we divide both sides by 20. Divide by 20. So x is equal to, now 10 goes into 2,500 and also 20 evenly. So we have as 2,500 over 2. It will give us 125 is equal to x. Now, again, the x is the percent, so it's asking what percent. 125%